Paul, QPR, is this going to be a real gauge of the progress that you're making?
Yeah, definitely. The QPR up there on merit, aren't they? We've got them and Fulham. Obviously, we're not looking beyond QPR, but they're up there on merit. Really good footballing team. We know it's going to be a tough test. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Definitely.
The league's wide open, isn't it? I know that the top two have had a very good season so far, but the rest of the division looks very open.
Yeah, listen. It usually is competitive. It's usually that way. Any game in the Championship, on any given day, someone can turn a result round that in any other league would be surprising, but not in this one. So, yeah, it's exactly the same again. Maybe even more so this year. You mentioned the top two. I still don't believe it's taken shape yet properly, the league. You're obviously where you are on merit because you've either won enough games or not, but I think there'll be still lots of changes between now and the end of the season in terms of people going on good runs and people going on bad runs.
Shows though, doesn't it, that a couple of wins, everything changes, doesn't it? And people are now looking at the top six and feeling that's a very real prospect for Sheffield United this season.
Yeah, it's consistency, and every team's the same. You put a consistent run together, all of a sudden you can become a team that's talked about. Likewise, if you don't get that consistency, you can easily plummet because other teams, will keep picking up points. So, yeah, for me, this Championship League's always been like this, and you've got to then approach it with that mindset and know that, listen, you've got to be flat out in every single game and be at your best to win. And also accept that sometimes that might not be good enough, because it is that tight. There's not much between the teams. And especially as you get, if we're saying we're performing well at the minute and we want to be at the top end, we're playing another good team on Saturday and Monday night. So, yeah, we know there's not going to be much in it and we just have to be at our best.
When you took over at Barnsley a few years ago, you were 8 points off the playoffs. You ended up winning promotion. When you took over at Sheffield United, you were 8 points off the playoffs as well. I know it's a very different challenge, but it's interesting how these things are quite similar, isn't it?
It shows it's possible, yeah, definitely. Shows it's possible. So, yeah, I think I kept saying all the time, regardless of, a long-term approach by the football club and how they're going to try and progress and build the club off the pitch as well as on it, it's about this season for me and the players and the staff, and that's it. You can't look beyond. Well, you might be making decisions away from a Saturday afternoon. This season very much alive, and we have to keep approaching it that way. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's good that people talk that way now, that we're chasing, rather than being scared about the next game. And we'll just keep that mindset. I said it before, we know we won't win every game, but we'll try and win it.
What's pleased you most about these first two wins, and what are the areas that you think there's still room for improvement?
Room for improvement in all of it, in everywhere, but what's pleased, just in the games, but in training, there's been a positive reaction. We've tried to stress the importance of playing forward, running forward, creating chances, and there's been a response, and it's been, while we still think we want to improve that further, just by the reaction speech to people after the game, there's been a noticeable intent from the players, which is great. That's what we want to hear. But we also want that intent when we've not got the ball, and while we are working hard in training on that. The players are working hard. It'll take us a while to get where we want to be in terms of delivering that for 90 minutes, but certainly in spells we'll be right, try and be right on top of teams and make it difficult. But we need a lot of practice at it. We need to believe in it. We need to have the intent and the mindset to go and deliver that type of performance. But as I said, that's where we want to be, so we'll just keep pushing.
How would you describe Morgan Gibbs-White's qualities and what he brings to this team?
I think I said it to him walking off the pitch after Bristol. He loves football. You can see it, and he plays that way, and that's a massive compliment in my eyes. If I see anyone who loves football, they're gonna make the most of themselves and the potential they've got, and that's how I see him. Wants the ball, wants to win, and just enjoys playing the game.
Have Wolves given any indication as to what their plans are? Whether they may recall him in January or whether he will definitely be here for the full season?
No, not yet. So obviously he's not our player. We know that. When you take loan players, you know that. We want to keep him, love to keep him. He's great about the place, good footballer. And then flip side of that, we think we're a good fit for him as well. We can provide him with the experiences, the coaching and the opportunities that he needs to develop and become a better player.
I suppose what he's shown so far from a Wolves perspective, and they're doing pretty well in the Premier League too, they can see he's having a good season. That must help in terms of your claim to keep him.
Having a good season, developing well. As I say, we've not been working with him long, myself and Stuart and Jack, but there's areas we want to improve him and keep pushing him on and get him to respond to that. And I think he sees the value in that, and he can see that, and he wants to get better. But it's like I said, the biggest thing Morgan wants is to play. He just loves the game.
No Iliman Ndiaye versus Cardiff. He's had a very impressive season for a young player. But did he maybe just need a little nudge here as a young player to maintain a consistent standard?
Yeah, everyone knows what I think of it. I don't think people have seen the best of him yet. But yeah, it was nothing. It was just a tactical decision in that game. That's all that was. We've got a good number of centre forwards or players who can play at the top end of the pitch even more so. And we're always going to be leaving. I'm always going to be leaving out a lot of good players, and we've spoken to them about that. But you need to be ready. You need to be chomping at the bit. So when your opportunity does arrive, you're ready to take it. But no, Iliman's a very good footballer, big talent, fantastic lad, and as I say, he'll keep pushing. We'll keep pushing him as well to get even better. And the fans have got plenty more to see of Iliman.
In terms of injuries, is there any update on the likes of Brewster and Olsen?
Yeah, so Robin's still responding slowly but progressing, so still not fit and available. Rian, yeah, he's got significant damage to his hamstring in terms of his hamstring tendon, but we're pleased now with the prognosis. We're pleased that he's responding really well, so he'll be fit when he's fit, but he's going to be out for a while.
And with John Fleck, is he any closer to potentially being able to play for you again?
Fleck, he's back in training, he's back in as normal. Obviously, you've seen the statement that went out about him. He's had the all clear from cardiologist, neurologist, and no more a risk of by playing football. So we're just progressing as normal now. He's back in and he's back in training. He's had 2 good days with us. So yeah, it's just great to have him in the building. One, that he's well, fit and well, and that John's comfortable and happy with, everything that he's gone through, the test, the checks, and he's confident and he's ready to go.
And as difficult as it was to see John have the health scare that he had, was it equally a boost for everybody to see him back in training and to see him back healthy and part of the squad again? Yeah,
he's a popular member of the group without a doubt. We saw him. When it snowed, so we were training on the indoors, and we saw his head pop up at a window in a canteen, and everyone was pleased to see him. And that was just a couple of days after. So yeah, it's great to have him back, and reassuring. That's the main thing. Forget the football. Everyone's just pleased to have him back and pleased that he's fit and well and he's happy and ready to go.
Final word on QPR. They've had a strong season. Where are they dangerous? How can they challenge you, do you think?
Well, they're dangerous all over the pitch because they're an attacking team. Threats all over the pitch, whether that's from balls flashed across the box, the runs of Willock creativity, of Chair, the centre backs getting involved in the attacks. So yeah, we know they're an attacking threat, and like I said, they're up there on merit. They've caused a lot of teams problems, so we have to be ready for that. And I think it'll make for a good game for all the fans who's at the game, for anyone watching on TV. I think it'll make for a good game.
Winning this one, get people. I think people are starting to believe. Win this game, that's going to go up another level, isn't it? Yeah,
but we're not focused on anything like that. We're just focused on the problems QPR pose us and how we can pose them problems. Same process, go through the same things, and like I said, we'll approach it in a way that sets us up to try and win it, and we'll see where it takes us. And then once that's out of the way, we'll move on to the next one. We won't be thinking any further ahead. But yeah, we bothered about us and how we approach it. Take QPR into account, but it'll be about us and how we keep improving.